All right, welcome back to another day trading recap for Monday, April 18th. Today I'm finishing up a solid $50.88. I traded three different stocks, CASA, MDVL, and I think I had one trade on Nile. So pretty much two stocks today I traded. I like when I'm only trading like a small handful of stocks rather than five or six. I just seem to perform much better when I'm focusing on one or two stocks instead of like a whole bunch. I can show you my trades here. We started with Nile at 805. First, I'll go over CASA since I have it right here. CASA, unfortunately, I saw this pop up on some news, some solid news. However, I started getting in way too high. It stopped right on the resistance of 550. And I was kind of getting aggressive too early. I added at 544 for a break of 550, but it was already extended 15, 16%, 17% run. So I should have waited for a bigger pullback before breakthrough 550. But I sized in a little bit too early. Sized in again at 533. Sized in again off the VWAP, looking for that pushback, and then it flushed down through the VWAP, and I stopped out pretty much at almost at the low of this candle. So that was a decent 30-cent loss on a pretty decent share size for me, and that put me down about $45 on the day. So I was pretty much behind the eight ball right out of the gates at the start of the week. But however, it didn't really trigger my emotions too much. I was able to, not get phased by, that loss because I knew all it took was one or two more trades of solid trades on a decent share size, and I would be able to make that back and be back in the green. So I wasn't really phased by it. It was only 8 o'clock in the morning. I was just focused on, getting a couple base hits under my belt and getting it and minimizing the loss as much as possible. And so CASA was a bigger float. The float was much bigger. On FinViz, it says it's about 35. Float, however, on TOS, it says the outstanding shares of 84 million. The volume is big. However, because it's a big float, it's definitely, it doesn't have a history of making big moves. If you look here on the overall chart, at least within the past year, we didn't have really much of a big move ever. And so that was really reluctant to take, share size being very aggressive now going forward. However, here I didn't even know. I just jumped right in without ever looking at the daily chart or even the news. All I saw was something about achieving some award or something like that. But it doesn't have a history of making big moves, so I wasn't really reluctant, that this was going to go parabolic. But, there was a lot of volume. So because of having a lot of volume, even though it's a bigger float, you still could have some opportunity on this. So then here, again, I added back here, looking for a pop. Well, the reclaim VWAP, and I kind of chased it into this candle at the first 1 minute candle, make a new high. I was expecting something more aggressive for the break of 550, right up to 550 and making new highs. However, this candle got stuffed, closed it for a 10-cent loss, and added back at 527, pretty much the same area that I initially had my position. Then I sized in, 400 shares. So that's 2,000, over 2,000 position size here at 540, looking for the break of 550. However, it did get stuffed into this level, but I was able to take off my position to manage my risk to the upside, and I actually walked away with some profit. And then here we had a dip. I was looking for like a flat top breakout over 550, so I added 548. However, it did get shaken out a little bit. Then I added back at 546. Looking for the break of 550. We finally got break of 550. It closed it for a nice 6-cent winner. Here we had I added on a pullback to 550. Got in at 554, looking for a move higher. and I closed it for a quick scalp, about a 4-cent winner on average. Very small share size on that one. But overall, I mean, after that move, I actually was able to get my profit down to maybe $25 loss rather than a $45 loss. And then here we had a reclaim of the VWAP, and I added on a pullback to the 9 EMA and the VWAP, sizing into this. And so my average was somewhere around, I was in around, well, here, no, I scalped for a small loss again, or scratch. Here I chased this too much into 542, looking for the break of the pivot at 546 and a run towards the highs. And it was just so shaky. It just kept, bouncing back and forth. It was kind of getting stuffed in this candle, so I took a small loss, or a scratch actually, on that trade. And then I chased it again into 549, looking for the break of 550, and sold for a quick 2-cent winner. I was really looking for a move on this stock that was like more like moves that are on very micro floats or very small floats, and I really needed to switch my strategy from buying the breakouts to dip buying, because look at all of these topping tails. These are, you could easily get shaken out on any of these candles here if you're a momentum trader aggressively adding higher. Then at 9 a.m. we got a nice push. Here I was just kind of a little bit late to the party, but I was adding at 560, 570s, looking for a move up to 6, and I closed it here for a small win, couple cent winner, but it was on bigger share size. I was about 1,500, 1,600 position size, so that's pretty solid. Definitely, I'm getting used to taking bigger size, so that's important. And then here we had a dip buy off 572. Took some off for a profit. However, I was holding some for a potential move over 5.8, but I kind of got shaken out on this position, back to break even. With this stock, you need to really take your time, be very patient for the moves to unfold, because on the 1 minute it's very choppy, but it seems to be respecting the 5 minute more than it is the 1 minute. But that's always hindsight. In the moment, I was like thinking this was going to go parabolic, especially pre-market when it was a 1 million share candle on the 1 minute chart. 566, here we go. Nice dip buy off the reclaim of the 9 EMA. Quick 5 cents. Beautiful right there. Beautiful. That's the kind of trade that I want to see, trading a larger float stock with high volume. Be kind of scalping the range, buying the dips. Not so much, adding into these candles, breaking new highs, because look, we've been getting these candles, flush candles, the whole time. Here, 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 here. And it's not a really good strategy to be doing. Here, scalp that for small loss there. Then here, pre-market, I was looking for the break of 6 at the open. However, I thought we were going to get this kind of early. So I was adding at 584 for a move up to 6. But we kind of got stuffed in this level. I thought this was a reversal candle, so I took it off for break even. However, it reclaimed that level. 9 EMA was giving it some support. Added back for the break of $6. Popped over 6. However, I was getting really bad fills on it, and I closed it. Started closing for break even or small gain. So that's quite unfortunate. I just kept getting bad fills on it. It seemed like, whenever I wanted to sell, it would pop up, and then right when I wanted to sell, it dropped a few cents. That seemed to be like what was happening. And then at the open, I scalped this first candle. Waited for so it surged up. I waited for the dip, and it was kind of holding this level around 510, 512, and I was able to capture a nice 10 cents on it. That was beautiful. And then here I got a nice bounce off $6 for a 1 cent gain. Here was a small loss. And then on this candle, since this was a rejection candle, this candle was moving back up. I was like, okay, well, maybe, we just panicked the longs a little bit. Now we're going to squeeze shorts out a little bit more. So I was adding as it was going higher at 623, looking for the break of 635, the previous high. And I was able to scalp it for a nice a nice 7 cents on big share size. 250 shares on a $6.23. $6.23. That is, let's do my quick math here. 623. That's a $1,500 position size. That's almost double than what I was used to about last month. So very happy, I had the balls to go for a trade like that and get a nice 7-cent win, because that put me, on this stock green, finally green, now up 18. So I was down 45. Now I'm back up $18. So that's amazing that I was able to come back from that sort of loss from one trade, being down, I wouldn't say super close to my max loss, but decently close to my max loss. My max loss is about $75. So, I mean, one or two more bad trades, I could have definitely been at max loss. But to me, be able to recoup from that, and be unfazed and be willing to take a risky trades, and sizing into these trades that have a potential to have a big payout, definitely paid off today, because I was able to walk away green on this stock, even though it was really, really choppy. Here we had a bounce off the 9 EMA, so I thought we were going to move higher. However, the tape wasn't showing much strength, so I took it off for about break even. Here I had bounce off the 9 EMA. I thought we were going to run back towards 640, and I took that one off for a small gain before the flush. Thank God, before the flush. Looks like CASA is downtrending now, but looks like ATER is moving up, so I'm going to keep that on watch. Maybe we'll see something. Here, kind of scalped the panic dip. I thought we were going to reclaim VWAP pretty quickly, but we didn't, so I took off for about break even. Here, I wasn't even watching the stock at this point. I was trading something else, but we had a huge rejection candle. I was just trying to do a red to green, and then it held support, and that was like, wow, this is beautiful here. This is beautiful. I got to get size into this. So I got in at 615, way up here, pulled back, but I was still very confident. I was about 10 cents in the red, but I was still very confident that this was going to squeeze out, because I've seen this so many times before, where the first try for the red to green gets flushed. However, that flush candle does not initiate a back trend, a downward trend. And when it doesn't initiate that downward trend, there's a good chance that it just captured more shorts for a bigger short squeeze. And so I was sizing in for this reclaim, and then I sized in again at 635 for the break of this high, and then we popped up into the high. However, it was just so jumpy that when I tried to sell, I was just getting really bad fills, and it was a break-even trade, and it should have been a win. It should have been a green trade, but I was just having bad fills. And that was very frustrating, because I filled all the way down here. It popped up, and as soon as I was ready to sell, it pulled back 20 cents. Everybody was trying to take out, and really I should have held a little bit longer. I would have been able to capture all my profit. But like, you never know with this stock. After it breaks a resistance level, it could easily reverse and just go a halt down, because we squeezed out the shorts. We broke the resistance level, and now it's jumpy around here. That's not really a sign of good real strength. I mean, really what you'd want to see as soon as it breaks as high is a jump of 40, 50 cents, maybe move on up to 7. But we didn't get that, and I was trying to get out for at least some sort of profit, and I just couldn't. Then here I was scalping the first 1 minute dip here. I thought we'd see a push back up. Scalped it for a couple cents. Scalped this for a couple cents as well for the reclaim of the support. Dip down, made a new low, however, it reclaimed pretty strongly, so I was sizing into that. But nothing to really indicate that we're going to go front side. ATR is still moving up. I think I should, where's the high on this? 664. If it gets back up to 650, I'm going to start trading that. And here we got a bounce off the 9 EMA. Pretty strong. I thought this would finally be it. We'd initiate that parabolic move, but no, nope, didn't get it. So took that off for small loss. Then here it dipped and then it ripped again. That would have been a beautiful trade here, but I wasn't trading it. And I think that was it. Now that's it on CASA. And then the other stock I traded was MDVL, which I made majority of my profit on, about $31. Let's try to get this up here. These trades. There we go. Okay, so I was keeping a watch on it. However, I didn't start getting active on it until looking for the break of the high. So the pre-market high was 334, I believe. 334. Looking for the break of 334. Started sizing in on this candle at 324. Looking for that move higher. Added more at 526. Took some off for a small loss to manage some risk. It just seemed like, if it was going to go, it would have gone already. So I kind of sized down a little bit and then added off this candle, looking for that move. And, it just wasn't really pushing. So I took it off about break even. This started sizing into this candle for the break of the high. However, it got stuffed. So I had to take it off for a break even to manage my risk. But I was in, $1,800 position size, which is pretty nice. Actually, I walked away with a little bit of profit, a couple cents profit on that one. Then here, panic dip buy to 3.9 off the VWAP, 200 shares, and I was able to take that off for a nice 6-cent profit. That's pretty solid. About a 2% gain. Nice base hit there. Then here I added back as we were showing holding over this 9 EMA, and I was adding higher into 329, looking for that surge through 334, but it did get stuffed, and I started taking it off for a small profit, and that's unfortunate because then that was pretty much it. It went backside, and I thought this would be the squeeze back all the way up, and I was adding in, I was holding, adding more, holding, looking for that move, and then I held through this pullback because I thought you'd still see that move up, added more down here, then I started taking off break even. Here was just kind of like a bunch of chop, just a bunch of break-even trades. I was really looking for that push up to 334. Here I thought this was my last chance, break of this downward trend. We'd see it. Took it off break-even. Very small size because I was thinking about adding higher as I saw this proving breaking over this trend line and through the pivot. But we didn't get it. Took it off for about break-even. And then we had a nice backside flush there, so I'm glad I got out. But overall, made a nice profit on MDVL, managed my risk, got aggressive, going for these big moves, and that's important because, one time, when I was in 600 shares on this, and if this didn't, if this finally broke through and it went parabolic and halted up with 600 shares, and it opens up 50 cents higher, so I'm up 50 cents on this, up to 375. That's a solid gain. That's $100, $200 profit right there. So, I'm doing the right things. I'm managing my downside risk, and I'm in it on the stock, looking for those moves, and that's what's important. I'm not being timid anymore, trying to go for these moves, which before, months ago, a year ago, I was very timid going into these moves. I was nervous to make money. I was nervous. It was quite nerve-wracking because I would be sizing into a pullback like this, looking for that breakout, and I'd be sweating. Nervous, and I would shake myself out, and it would go 10, 20, 30%, 50%, and I wouldn't be in it. But, now, something inside of me, I'm worthy of this move. So I was sizing in aggressively and looking for that move. And, one time, it didn't work today, but tomorrow, it might work and it might halt up and I might, get a nice 50 cent move on this, and I'll be up real nicely. And it'll really show the progress that and the effort I've been putting into this to get better every day. And those are the moments that are fulfilling for me when I'm trading. It's just, finally being able to do the things that I wasn't able to do in the past. So that's it for me. Up $50, a solid base hit. I was up 55 on Friday, so keeping this green streak alive. I hope the rest of the week we get some good opportunity. Maybe we'll get, some moves, some volume on smaller floats rather than CASA. CASA was a bit difficult to trade. Really, if you're not green today, don't be too much in the dumps, because this is a very, very tough market to trade. I got lucky a lot. I mean, I could have easily got stuck in any of these topping tail like flush candles, especially on MDVL. And if I would have started sizing up into this candle, really expecting that move through 334, I would have been done for on a 10% backside flush in 2 candles or 3 candles. So don't be too down on yourself if you're red, as long as you're managing your risk and you're not trading past your max loss, your max daily loss. Then tomorrow there's always a chance of making some of it back and getting back to all-time highs in your account. The trick is not to over trade past your max loss. You have your max loss for a reason. You have to respect that. And if you're respecting your max loss, it should only be about a week, 2 weeks until you recover from your losses, and that's not very bad. What you don't want is months of recovering from losses. That's not what you want. So that's why you have a max loss on the day, and you have to respect that. Today was a very tough, choppy day. The stocks that popped up were not that convincing. They were very choppy, and as long as you manage your risk, if you're small red or even respecting your daily loss today and you're walking away at max loss, you got to be proud of that you're exercising your discipline, because one day we're going to have stocks that are going to be going wild, and just being able to respect your max loss on days like today will definitely pay dividends down the road when the market heats up again, and you'll be able to put some more go up faster and farther on your P&L curve than if you were down in the trenches months deep in your drawdown. So that's all I have to say today. If you guys like this video, please comment, like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing these daily recap videos almost every day, and hope to see you guys keep coming back for more, and hope to see you guys be a part of my journey, and I want to be a part of your journey. So definitely I encourage you to be active in the comments. I try to comment and reply to each comment that I get, and be active in my channel. So, all right, see you guys tomorrow for the next day trading recap. Peace.